What I want you guys to do is I want you to pretend you're going upstairs. What would you do? Like actually do the movements. What would you do? I like what Pedro's doing even more. Is Pedro standing in one spot? When you guys go upstairs, do you end up standing in one spot?
Yes.
Act like you're going upstairs. Do not step on the desk. Now, alright. I want you guys to do something else. When you guys went upstairs, your foot came up and then you went forward, right? To take the step. I want you guys to try it the other way. I want you guys to try to go forward and then lift your foot up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm going upstairs.
Now lift it up. Lift it up.
Skipping a step.
Go downstairs. Go downstairs. You lift your leg up to go down.
Nope, we're still going upstairs. There's a reason I'm doing this. Go upstairs. Nope, go upstairs. But you're going upstairs by you sliding your foot forward and then you're lifting your leg up.
Yeah, that's what you
Are you going anywhere?
Yeah. The steps are longer.
Nope. You have to lift your foot up. I don't see you lifting your foot up.
I did.
Okay, now where does it go? Back. It has to go back to the original spot because you moved it forward and then you lifted it up. Well, you're not really going upstairs, are you? That's that little thing where you're going upstairs, you slide your foot forward, you lift it up, whatever. There's no step. What was the point?
You're going up.
So I have a question for you guys. When you go upstairs, which way does your foot go first? Does it go boys in the back? When you guys are going upstairs, does your foot go forward? Do you slide it forward and then try to lift it up, or do you lift up your foot and then go forward? You lift up your foot first. When you're going upstairs, when you're going up a slope, you are lifting your foot first. Here's why I say that.
Good afternoon, Ninja.
The slope, you will be knowing this as rise over run. The slope, you have to go up or down before you go left to right.
Did you play it?
Yes. Thank you. I did start it late, but thank you for reminding me. Slope is rise over run. Now, why I talk about stairs is because on stairs, if you try to move your foot forward first, you're going to kick the stairs and then fall flat on your face. That's going to be painful depending on what stairs you have. My stairs, I don't want to kick it and fall first. Because my stairs just go down to the basement and there's cement. I don't want to fall on those stairs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You can also think about this as a little baby. Which one did they do first? Did they start running first or did they stand up first?
On the stairs, they fall.
You can't run without standing up. Yeah, they do, but in between their crawling and their running, they stand up. And in order to crawl, they have to lift themselves up on their hands and knees to be able to crawl. So you still have to rise up first. If we went and tried to do a sprint, is anyone willing to show us how you start a sprint?
Running.
Nope, you start a sprint. If you were doing a 100, how do you think coach would make you start?
You put your
Don't you like your down? Natty, will you show us?
I just seen it in movies.
I'm not going to make you sprint. I just want you to show us what you think it looks like.
Like the runners, like you're like this. You're like.
That's how they start. That's exactly how they start. And I have a question for you. What would happen if Maddie started down like that and she started to run before she lifted her head up?
She fell flat on her face.
That would hurt. Rise up before you run.
I did that once with football.
Okay? 3, 2, 1. Since slope is the exact same as constant rate of change, and we know it as rise over run, we are going to find the distance between 2 points. That's kind of what we're going to do. It's not quite saying find the distance, but the reason I say that is that we're going to be subtracting. You will have 2 points. It will show up on a table sometimes, other times it will show up on a graph. But how we're going to find it is, yes, you can still find it through the constant rate of change where you find how does it move, how does the x change, how does the y change. But I want to show you the equation because the higher up in math you go, the more you're going to see this equation. It's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 over x1. Sebastian, I don't know how you're adding hands in the middle. Okay. Now, right off the bat, I don't expect anyone to really make sense of that. Because it's a bunch of letters, right? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to find the slope between 2 points, 1, 1, and 3, 2, 3, 4. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start off with that equation. So yes, even in your homework when you're solving, I do want to see this. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. The reason the y2 and y1 is you have 2 points. So which one's our first point? The 1, 1 or the 3, 4? Which one do you think is first? 1, 1 or 3, 4?
1, 1.
So this is our first one. So what does that make 3, 4?
The second one.
That's our second. Here's why I want you guys to know this. Do you know how ordered pairs are set up? Ordered pairs are always written as x, comma, y. That tells us everything we need to know. Find your second set of ordered pair. In your second set of ordered pair, what is your y?
4.
So we're going to rewrite this as 4 minus find your first y. So in your first group, what's the y?
1.
4 minus 1. Divided by, go back to your second group. What is your x?
3.
Minus
1.
your first group, 1. It's solving. This is division. I know I'm getting a lot of funny looks now, but can you guys solve any part of that?
Yeah.
What can you solve?
4 minus 1.
What's 4 minus 1?
3.
Can you solve anything else?
Yeah.
What?
3 minus 1.
3 minus 1 is?
2.
There's your slope. 3 over 2. That would have been your constant rate of change as well. Okay. Any questions on that? You guys ready for another one? I didn't ask if you wanted another one. I asked if you were ready for another one.
No.
Why no? Because what?
Are you still writing?
Sebastian, I didn't ask if you wanted another one because I know the answer to that. You guys don't want another one and you don't want homework. That's why I asked if you were ready for another one. If you're saying no, you better give me a good reason, Dagoberto.
Because I don't understand it.
What don't you understand?
Everything.
Then please leave my classroom. You guys know by now that I do not like that answer.
Yes, sir.
Because you understood something in this. Francisco?
I just don't.
I didn't understand this part.
This part?
Yeah.
How we got the numbers?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to try one more time then. I'm going to set it up a little bit differently so that way it'll look even more like your homework. I want you guys to make a table. We're going to be talking about miles and seconds. Sebastian, you got the table down?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean? And I'm going to make you. Everyone good with this? Now on Friday, when I gave you this table, what did you guys do?
We divided.
Divided what?
Actually, first we found out how much it takes to get to the thing.
You guys would sit here and go from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and the same with 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do the same thing, but in a different method. So first thing, it is the same. You're going to write down y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So Francisco, you want to know how we got those numbers? When it's on a table, I want you to pick one set of numbers. Pick one of those sets of numbers up there.
This one.
3.
So the 315?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gianni, pick a second pair. 420? All right, guys, we picked 2 pairs. That's all you need. The rest of the table is just there for information. You pick 2 pairs. Which one's first? Or which one's going to be our first pair? The 315 or the 420?
315.
So here's one. Here's our second. Okay? Now, everyone who got confused on the last one on how these numbers go, I want you to pay attention very closely. This says Y2. Where's your second group?
Right there.
Right here.
Oh, you got
Which one's the Y, the 4 or the 20?
That's 20.
So put 20.
right there.
Zeke, do you know where we just got
Just
that
keep
20?
going, just keep going.
Minus.
I just can't see.
Where's your first group?
4. Right here.
This 315. Which one of these 2 is the Y, the 3 or the 15?
15.
2.
You get 5.
Wait, why do you have to?
Oh. Oh, hey, guess what?
Oh, this is easy.
How do you get from 15 to 20?
By 5.
By 5. What is 20 minus 15?
5.
Easy.
Now let's do the other one. Where's your second group?
4 minus 3. Right there. 420.
The 420. Which one is the X, the 4 or the 20?
4.
4.
Is that better?
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, what's your
Minus.
four right there?
Because that is the second group
Oh, okay.
and our X.
3 and then 1.
Now we are on the first group. Our X is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Question, how do you get from 3 to 4?
1.
By 1. What's 4 minus 3?
1.
easy not.
So constant rate of change, you guys were doing this loop where you said plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, and plus 5, and then you have 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. And then you wrote it as y over x, so 5 over 1. Didn't we get the same answer?
Yeah.
Yes, and after today, I'm not going to care which way you do it. But for today and for today's lesson, I want you solving this method just so you get used to it. Because once we get on graphs, it might be easier to do it this way. So your slope is either 5 over 1 or just 5. I don't care which answer I get.
So why?
Why what?
Now I understand that.
Okay, so you need 2 pairs in order to fill it in. Right? You need to find the change. You need to know how it changes. That's why you need 2 pairs. Are we ready to try another one?
Yeah.
Think you guys are?
Yeah.
All right, go to the student page.
Ay, me ando. ¿Tú qué ando? ¿Ah? No,
No se quiere morir.
no estoy diciendo que no quiero, de todos modos nos vamos a morir un día.
Days of life.
Miss Omayo, me gusta the restroom.
Let's do this one
Oh,
first.
okay.
Days of life.
Well, Miss, does it matter what number is? No. Yo no fui.
Okay, you guys should be copying down, not talking. Now here's why you want this method, the one I'm showing you guys. Do these change equally across the top? No, because it goes by 2, then 1, then 1, and then 5. So you don't have a constant to use. But you can use the method of y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. I'm going to stop there. Work with your group. Pick 2 points off this table and solve.
¿Cuál? ¿Cuál?
672.
Ok, ¿qué más?
12 y 144. 144. No, no, así ya no. ¿Qué? No, yo no voy a ser del 2, yo voy a ser del 1. No, pues sí, él está diciendo que sí voy a ser chorro. No, pues le dije que no. 144.
Voy a hacer el 3 y el 5.
Anda pues.
Cállate, no me respondas mucho.
Ah,
Muchachito Maguín.
cállate. Sí.
¿Te dice caguillo?
No, a ti, sí.
Baboso.
A los dos te dicen baboso. 12, 144 y...
144.
¿Cómo la
No, esta cosa menso.
¿Cómo la dices?
Uno.
¿Cómo la dices? ¿Como I don't care?
¿Cuál es el primer grupo?
Vete a la boca. Vete a la boca.
Y Julio.
What girl?
¿Cuál es el primer grupo? ¿Este?
Cállate ya, piensa, güey, ¿por qué no
Nomás tengo una pregunta.
So choose groups. You have 2 groups.
Is this gonna be the first group?
It can be your first group, yes.
Okay. So it doesn't matter?
Yeah, actually, it doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Daddy. Daddy. Okay.
Okay, so then you have, except for, are you sure it's 17?
Wait, let me do my
Oh,
So you have 72 minus
Whoa.
89
mine.
over 6 minus 7, correct? What is 6 minus 7? Yeah, but longer here. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Miss, which one is the Y and which one is the X?
You're starting at 6.
These are always gonna be set up
Go back 7.
at
1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6. It's negative 1.
Okay.
So what's this answer?
Oh, okay.
Negative 17.
So what's a negative divided by a negative? 17, that should be 17.
He did 72 minus 89, so 9 minus 2 is 7.
There's no 89.
Oh!
84. Okay, 84.
Okay.
I was like, something's off because we're not getting the right answer.
Sorry, I was looking at his book, not up at your.
I do that a lot too, so I was like, wait a minute. Something. Good.
No, al revés, maldita cosa.
And 72 and 84.
Simplify it.
So you got negative 12, right? Okay. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So it equals 12 over 1.
Always simplify, guys, boys.
Did you get it? Did you
Alright, so was that as bad as you guys thought it was? Okay. If you want to be sarcastic, keep your mouth shut. I don't want to hear it now. Was that as bad as you really thought it was? No. No, it's all about knowing what points. Do I care what 2 points you got? No. Because I bet you these girls right here picked a 2 totally different points than these boys right here. Which one? They picked the 672 and the 12144. These guys, the 567 84. What was your guys' final answer? What was your guys' final answer? Did it matter? Oh, no. I am not going to care which 2 points you picked because these boys seem to have picked totally different answers or totally different points.
And then they did it different.
Yeah.
Then they had to.
Then they chose different 1 and 2, so they ended up with negatives and had to make it positive. It works out. It really does. So I'm not going to care which 2 points you grab. If you come up to me asking Miss Lomar, which ones do you want me to use? I'm going to look at you and say, you pick. I don't care which ones you use. Yes, my answer key is going to have different points than your guys' problems because we are different people. We choose different points. It solves out the same. Okay?
So on their math,
You get a pick. I need everyone to do what Sebastian's doing and go get your butt.
Espérate, déjame terminar eso.
No, mañana es
¿Tú tienes el nombre? Menos el número.
Oh, sí, entiendo.
Divided by 15 is 15 by 15. Because when you wrote it, didn't you have the 15 in the numerator? Always put the numerator in first. That's the answer. 3, 2, 1. I want you guys to open up to page 75. There's one more thing I want to show you. Yes, you are going to have to graph. That's why I don't want to put it in our notebooks, because I don't want to take the time to try to draw a graph to pass up with you. Alright, on page 75, down at the very bottom, there is letter A. What is the first thing it says in letter A? Graph the data about plant height for a science fair project. What data are they talking about? Where's it at? On the table. Can you guys graph this table?
Yes.
What's the first point you have to graph? Not 1.5. 1 and 1.5.
Oh,
Was 1 the same? Is 1.5 the same as 1? Is it the same as 2? It's in between the two. What about your second one? 2 and 3. What about your third one?
3 and 4.
It's proportional.
How do you know it's proportional? We'll check that. What's the last point?
It's not 4 and 6.
4 and 6. If you guys are choosing to freehand this, use the other side. This one's perfect. Use this side. It's nice. If you guys, just a minute. I'll come back to you, Gianni. You're correct. I'll come back to you. If you guys are not using a straight edge to draw this line, I will take a point off. No freehanding. No standing here trying to get a straight line. Find something with a straight edge and draw that line. Is it proportional or is it not proportional?
It's not proportional because it doesn't line up with the 0.
Mine did.
Wait.
It is proportional. You're talking about 4.
Alright. But when we were putting the dots, did it look like it was going to line up? That's why you draw the straight line, because not everyone saw it. Okay, you have to make your graph. Now you can choose. You either pick the points off the graph, or you have a table right here. What 2 points do you guys want to use? 2 and 3. 2 and 3? Why do you want 2 and 3 and 4 and 6? I agree. I like working with whole numbers. I know you guys like working with whole numbers. Pick the 2 points with whole numbers.
There.
Can you guys solve it from here? Go ahead and solve it.
Isn't it Y2?
So is the right side Y or the left side?
That's a good question. How many of you guys are wondering which one's X and which one's Y? Here's how you look. What's this label? Where's the label over here?
Oh, right there. What's that?
It's X.
That's the X. So weeks is the X.
Okay.
Okay? Good question.
Your Y2 minus Y1 over.
By the way, I'm walking around and either you guys aren't using a straight edge to draw your lines, or you're not very good about holding your straight edge steady, because I see a lot of crooked lines. A lot of crooked lines. There's one more thing I need to show you. I just want you guys to find that slope.
There's some done.
We're gonna wait. I'm not gonna be solving it now. So why are you minus Y1?
Wait.
No, you can leave it in proper. Okay?
oh,
No, negative divided by a negative is a
Joseph, that's not a straight edge. You're behind me.
I think it's 77%. Like,
negative and negative divided by a negative is a positive. So equals, put an equal sign and make both of them positive. There you go. Put the line over them or in between them.
are you
Alright, guys, so what was our 3, 2, 1? You guys got 10 minutes. I'd love to get you time on your homework. What's your second Y?
4, 6,
So what's your second Y?
6,
6. What is your first Y?
3,
Over what is your second X?
4,
Minus your first Y? Or first X, sorry.
2,
What's 6 minus 3?
3,
What's 4 minus 2?
2,
What's your slope?
3 over
3 over 2. That means you are going up 3 over 2. If we start at this 0, 0, we go 1, 2, 3 over 2. Did we end up on the line?
Yeah.
That's how your slope works. Okay, but here's what I want you guys to understand. It says explain what the slope represents in the work zone. What is our slope?
3 over 2.
3 over 2. The 3 was the X or the Y?
X.
3 was the
Y.
Y. 3 was what label?
Centimeters.
So to explain your slope,
3 centimeters. Plan.
the plant grows 3 centimeters every 2 weeks. It's bringing in those labels from your X and Y.
Tomorrow's picture day?
Yes.
Again?
Yes.
Saturday, school of one.